Hey Tracy, how's it going?
How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Happy
Good.
Friday, right?
Yeah.
Good, good. Any good plans for the weekend?
Just got to get outside and get some exercise.
Okay.
I'm gonna go do some bike riding tomorrow, so looking forward to that.
Sweet, awesome, awesome. Well, hopefully this will help you prep you for your bike ride tomorrow.
Hopefully, yeah, should.
Cool. You got your lacrosse ball or something similar ready to go?
Yep, I'm all ready.
All right, let's jump on in. Cool, so today is basically all focused up and down the spine. So we're gonna start at the top. We're gonna work down from there. So we're gonna start with the base of the neck. So we're gonna lay down. We're just gonna trace kind of that bottom side of the skull here, all right? So let's start on the right side. Go ahead and lie down. Legs can be however comfortable for you. And place it right along the side of the spine. So that right side of the spine at the base of the head. And first off, just let the weight of your head and just let your body acclimate to the pressure. Start taking some nice deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then as you're ready, start to add some motion into it. So if I start to look towards my right side, that ball will trace along the right sort of border, or that bottom border towards the right of my skull. Just kind of hunting around to see where those neck muscles are most tight. Nice slow head turn, seeing how far you can turn your head to the right. Slowly bringing it back to center. And after you've done that a couple of times, find that trigger point for you or that tight spot for you, and then simply just focus there. If your head is enough weight, enough pressure, feel free to stay right there. If you need a little bit more pressure, you can lay one forearm kind of over the head, so the weight of the arm adds to it. Then obviously you can add that second arm as well to dig a little bit more pressure into it. This shouldn't be something that's overly painful for you. We're not trying to push really deep here. We're trying to be more gentle and kind of relax into this. Spend about 30 more seconds on this side, and we'll switch to that opposite side. Feel free to start to take the ball a little bit lower on that right side of the neck now. So maybe slide the body up so that ball moves down. Just play with how that feels a little bit. For me, that's not quite as bad as a high. That's okay, still good input. All right, as you're ready, go ahead and switch. Take that ball and place it under the left side of the head. So just to that left side of the spine, that cervical spine there. And then start that same process over, slowly looking to our left this time. Letting that ball trace along the bottom of the skull. Slowly pulling it back at your own pace. Just looking for the most sensitive areas. Taking nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Trying to lengthen out your inhales and your exhales. When we lengthen out our inhales and our exhales, that's a signal to our body to relax. Whenever we're in a high stress situation, our body doesn't go into that long inhale, long exhale, right? So whenever we start to breathe that way, that tells the body to relax, to calm down, that it's not under any threats. And on this one, as I turn my head to the left, I'm finding a little bit tight spot right behind my left ear. So that's going to be an attachment point for a whole bunch of different neck muscles there. That bony part right behind the ear. So that could be a really good spot to focus on if you deal with neck pain or neck tightness. That attachment point is often a common source of that tightness. You can pin that tissue down, lay a forearm over the top of the head if that feels nice, or just continue with that slow rock side to side. Only got about 15 more seconds on this side before we switch to that next exercise. Give 1 or 2 more rolls across the neck. And as you're ready, go ahead and sneak that ball out. Shake out the head a little bit. Feel free to let it turn left and right, yes and no. Whatever feels good to you is fine. Just have to release some of that pressure. Now we're going to start to move down the body. We're going to work into the upper trap, or basically kind of the base of the neck, or where it connects in with the shoulders. That's where we want to focus. So still lying down on our back. Let's throw the ball under that right side trap is what the muscle is called, the trapezius. So it's right under kind of the meat of my neck. From there, if this is enough pressure for you, feel free to stay right there. If you want a little bit more pressure, you can push through the heels and lift the hips up. So now I have more of my body weight coming towards the ball. So find a amount of pressure you can tolerate. And then from here, what I really like to do is just add some arm motion. Taking the arm up, overhead, reaching up high, and taking it back down, and kind of cross the body towards that opposite hip. So right hand towards the left hip. Just slowly moving back and forth between those two positions. Try and breathe into it. Keeping the inhales long, the exhales longer if possible. A good guideline for your inhales and exhales is 5 to 6 seconds. So 5 to 6 seconds on the inhale, 5 to 6 seconds on the exhale. Really tells that body to release and relax. Another 30 seconds or so here before we switch sides. Another a couple waves with the arm. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and slowly release. You can take both hands kind of up towards the sky. Just kind of see how that feels from shoulder to shoulder. Notice my right side, that side we just did, is laying a little bit more flush against the floor. A little bit more supported, a little bit more open. So now let's try and match it on the other side. So placing it on that left side, right where the neck meets the top of the shoulders, into that big bundle of tissue there. Hips can be up or down, whatever feels best to you. And then slowly start that arm wave. So touching the right hip, reaching up over the head with the left arm. Nice, slow, deep breaths. We'll get a couple more passes with this arm on this side before we switch to the next exercise. One more big reach up overhead. And relax. All right, feel free to shake that out while I show you kind of the placement for the next exercise. So continuing to move down the body. Now we're going to take this lacrosse ball, kind of put it in between our spine and our shoulder blades, starting on that right side, kind of towards the lower half here. Then we're going to take that hand behind the back and take some nice deep breaths there. We're still laying it on down. This one kind of hard to get the ball in place, but do whatever you got to do to make it happen. I like to reach it under one shoulder. You'll be kind of propped up, your body, the right side of the body will be kind of propped up because of the ball. That's okay. Roll around, trying to get it in between the spine and that shoulder blade. Find that sensitive spot. For me, really the whole area is sensitive, so it might be easy for you. And from there, I just like to take the hand behind the back as best as possible and roll that shoulder back and down towards the ground. That shoulder is going to want to pop up kind of towards the ear, towards the ceiling. Try and pull it down towards the ground as best you can. Adjust the feet, the hips, the low back to however is comfortable for you. It's going to allow you to rest in position. Sometimes this can make my neck get a little bit uncomfortable because I'm kind of in this extended position. So I'll take my opposite arm, kind of prop it underneath the back of my head to support my head a little bit. And then from here, this is a really simple one. We're just going to breathe here for a minute. This is deep breaths as you can, aiming for that 5-second inhale, that 5-second exhale. And just see if you can let the body slowly release with every exhale. one more big deep breath here, make it your deepest yet. Slowly exhale. Relax. Gently release out of that position. Feel free to wiggle it out however you need to. And then as you're ready, go ahead and set up for that opposite side. Take it down, in between shoulder blade and spine, finding a sensitive spot. And then once you have that sensitive spot, take that left hand behind the lower back. Make sure that palm is facing down towards the ground or towards your mat. Roll that left shoulder back as best you can. That ball is going to block it a little bit, so you won't be able to pull it all the way back. That's okay. And once you have that spot sort of tapped down, all about the breath here. Another 60 seconds of deep breathing. Think about opening up the rib cage with every inhale. Kind of expand the rib cage as wide as possible. Gently let it collapse with every exhale. You'll notice on this side, I have a couple of fingertips just placed on my lower ribs so that as I inhale and exhale, I can physically feel whether or not my ribs are moving. And the goal is to get them moving as much as possible with each breath. As you feel that tight spot start to loosen up, or it's not so sensitive anymore, feel free to adjust the body to find a different one. Let's take two more big breaths here before switching to the next movement. And one more big breath. And slowly release. All right. Okay, starting to move down the body. We're going to focus on the glutes now. So for this one, you're focusing right where the leg bone, so your upper thigh, comes into and attaches to your hip. So if you feel around there, you'll probably feel a bone. Basically that top part of the bone there, we're going to trace, making kind of a C curve or a half moon shape around the top of the bone. All right, so that's kind of the goal we're going for. So stick a ball somewhere along that C curve, gently lay on to your side. This position, the ball in this position can be very sensitive for a lot of people. So slowly bring your weight down on top of the ball. Notice my bottom leg, the leg on the ball is up, so I have that knee kind of pulled in towards my chest. We're working on that hip inflection. And then from here, really, there's not a ton of rules. So I like to kind of roll the body forward and backward. So I'm kind of moving the body over the ball as opposed to moving the ball on my body. You can also play with kind of straightening that bottom leg a little bit and slowly dragging it up. If this one is real sensitive for you and it's hard to relax, you can do what's called a contract relax. That'll help the body relax a little bit more. So if you're ready for one of those, I'll go ahead and coach you through it. So find that sensitive spot. We'll first take a deep breath in through the nose. Pause, hold that breath. I want you to flex that glute, so push your knee down into the ground. So my right knee into the floor. Hold that for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep exhale, relax. Try and relax that leg and see if you can slowly take more body weight into the ball. So take a few breaths to let that body acclimate to that new pressure, that new depth with the ball. Something else I like to play with in this position is more so the angle of my torso. So if I was to point my chest more so towards the ground, that can help wind up that outer hip a little bit. Put that tissue on a little bit more of a stretch. You can change how that feels. Take one more big deep breath in this position. And after that exhale, slowly push yourself up off the ball to release. Shake out that leg. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So, taking it up high into the hip. Laying down slowly, bringing that left knee in towards your chest. Finding that depth. And first, I just like to start off just by letting the body just acclimate. This, again, can be a super sensitive spot for people. So you might not need to move whatsoever. You might just need to just breathe here, and that's okay. Once your body has started to relax, you can then start to add some sort of movements. So again, I like that slow rock with my torso, forward and backward. That can change how it feels on my hip. You can also pull the knee up higher in the chest, slowly straighten it out. Notice I put my top leg in front of my body to support myself if I do that. Whew, that is really tight. We're just straightening out the leg, taking it through that movement. Be very sensitive. But again, that sensitivity, that's not normal for a tissue to be that sensitive, right? So if you have that high degree of sensitivity to the pressure of the ball, that lets you know that you need more of this sort of work in that area. Again, we can go through a contract, relax here. So let's go through that one time if you're ready. So find that sensitive spot. Let's take a big deep breath in. Hold at the top. Push your left knee down into the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Relax that hip. Just try and sink into it. Take 2 breaths here. And slowly release, coming up off that ball. We're gonna sit up. Last one we're gonna do is a little end range stretch for the hips. So we've done this stretch quite a bit in these classes. It's a 90-90 stretch. So let's start with our right leg in front of the body at a 90-degree angle. My left leg is to the side, the left side of my body, also at a 90-degree angle at the knee. From here, I just want you to sit up tall. Use your hands to help you with that if needed. And start to tilt forward as far as you can with the flat back. So I'll show from the side. So we don't want to round down. We want to stay long, stay tall, and bow forward. Then from here, I want you to find a little bit of twist towards your right knee. So I'm showing my chest or my belly button towards my right knee. And from here, I'm just going to breathe and hold in this end range stretch. For switching sides, we'll do 1 round of contract, relax, similar to what we did with the ball. So let's go through that now. Let's take a deep breath in. Hold at the top. Push your knee down into the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow exhale. Relax the leg. See if you can move a little bit deeper into the stretch. Take 2 breaths there. And let's switch. Same thing. Left leg. Left leg forward, right leg back. Use your hands to get tall first. Once you're tall, then bow forward, keeping that height. And then you can add a little subtle twist towards that left knee. Find that end range. Take a few breaths there. Now let's go through that round of contract, relax. So deep breath in. Push your left knee down into the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, slow, relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly release. Shake it on out. And that is all that I've got planned for you today, Tracy. Hope you enjoyed it. You got any questions, comments? How did those exercises feel on your body? Were you able to get into the position, stuff like that? Feel free to let me know.
Yeah, that was really good. I love the great stretches. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely, cool. So hips are going to be super active in your bike ride tomorrow. So hopefully they're ready to go for you now.
Yeah, hopefully. Looking forward to it.
Right on, right
All
on.
right.
Have a great weekend. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, catch you next time.
Okay, thanks, Brad.
See ya.
Bye.